ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, organics of all ages. I'm Double R, and in this video we are covering...
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet!
Captain Planet, he's our hero.
No, not that one.
Captain N, the Game Master.
No. Try again.
Bucky! Captain Bucky O'Hare! Mutants and aliens and toads beware!
I'll consider that one, but not the one I'm looking for.
Their name, Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future.
Welcome to the episode Abyss. Now, in this episode, it's pretty much straightforward. We're going to give you a quick summary. A crazed military general has a platoon that Dredd has not taken or wiped out. However, at the start of the episode, you find a traitor who sends out a signal trying to get help because he's realized the general's gone, well, we'll have Captain Power describe the general a little bit later. It's pretty straightforward.
Hey, look. I can explain this. I was just out getting some air. Come on, cut it out! I demand to see the general.
You're seeing him, Price. Too bad. You were a good soldier.
So, with the opening scene of the traitor being, well, dealt with, you find out that it's the captain and Hawk who go out to deal with it. And they explain where the other people are, and they explain why he wants to get out there ASAP.
Database Journal 99.7 Mark III. Captain reporting. 0300 hours. Scout, pilot, and tank continue the reconnaissance of Sector 7. So far, all results negative.
Picking up a signal, Captain. Started coming in a couple of minutes ago. Listen. Military code? It's coming in on the right frequency. It hasn't been used in years, not since it lost it. Cut off at the source.
Did you get a fix on the location?
Just barely. Sector 42, Mark 7.
Good, let's get going.
Are you sure you don't want to wait for the others?
No choice. If there's a military unit still out there somewhere, we gotta find them fast. They wouldn't risk an open channel unless they were in trouble. And I don't like the way that signal just stopped.
But wait, that's not all. That little transmission that went out, Lord Dredd gets it too. And Dredd commands Sauron to go deal with it after something else entirely.
Dredd, unauthorized transmission detected. Sector 14, cross-reference Theta.
Let me hear it.
Sauron?
Here, my lord.
Possible trouble in Sector 14, Zeta.
Investigate and neutralize.
Shall I terminate current operation?
No, my sentry. Finish the task at hand and await further orders.
It shall be done, my lord.
The point of showing that scene specifically is pointing out Captain Power has his objectives for his team, and Dredd has his objectives for his team. This shows you that they're not always intersecting. They're not always fighting each other every inch of the way. They're not always in battle with each other. That's the point I'm trying to make. Sauron has something else to go do. 3 members of Captain Power's group is elsewhere. They're doing something else. It's not always battle royal time between them. Now when they come together, yeah, it's fighting ahoy. But that's the point I'm trying to make. In a war, you're not always fighting each other at the exact same spots. There's different locations that happen. There's different objectives that need to be done. You get what I'm saying?
soldiers, infantry. I thought they're supposed to be on our side. How's your charge?
40%. Enough if we don't take too many more hits.
All right, you get...
Warning, system failure.
Okay, I wanted to show them getting ganked, pretty much. They showed up, they showed up. They recharged, per se. They showed up and got. Well, captured. Now I wanted to point this out because it shows you how the military, that unit survived for so long. They were able to funnel everything into one area and take them out. This is important to note for later in this episode when you deal with Sauron. They are able to fight ground units. Sauron is an air unit. Problems. Big problems. Huge. Because a ground tactical movement will not always work against flying opponents. Right? This is important to note, but let's continue on. After Captain Power and Hawk got captured, gets captured? After they got, they go through interrogating the captain, and they go through interrogating Hawk. And you get different levels of interrogation per se.
We received a signal. Military codes? On a code 9 priority frequency?
Yes.
So you admit to receiving an unauthorized transmission on a top secret frequency sent by a known traitor?
I don't know what you're trying to imply, but we came here to help.
Really? Then why all the weaponry?
Look, you attacked us.
We have a duty to defend ourselves. The whole world's falling apart. We've got to be ready. Got to stay safe, train the men, prepare for the right day.
The right day? My God, man, if you've got troops here, we don't need them tomorrow. They should be out there today, helping to train others.
That's what the traitor Price wanted. To undermine my authority. Send our boys out there to die, for what? To search for units that may not exist and risk exposing ourselves in the meantime? We have a duty to this country to remain safe until the president calls.
President? General, the government's gone. But you have resources, supplies, weapons. There's people fighting out there right now without much more than their bare hands. That and a little courage. But I guess you wouldn't know about that.
How dare you, you lout! Colonel.
You shouldn't have said that. General Briggs is a good man, a top-flight soldier. He's kept his men alive when others would have lost all hope.
Your general's mad. I've been with him 5 minutes and I can see it.
As you found out from Power, he's like, Captain Power says, I've been here for a few minutes, and I see he's crazy. That gives you a hint on why the traitor did what he did. He knows the general has lost his mind. It's, hey, we got to get out of here before something bad happens. Well, you find out from Hawk that there is more of a relationship between Power and Dredd than expected, because there's a relationship between Hawk and Dredd.
Who are you working for? Why were you sent here to spy on our operation?
Get stuffed!
I'll take it now. We weren't able to find anything on your Confederates.
My heart bleeds for you.
But you, we have records on. Major Matthew Masterson, sole survivor, Earth Air Assault Unit. Was the rest of your unit unlucky, Major? Or was there more to their deaths than the mere misfortunes of war?
Are you trying to imply...
Also says here you knew Dredd before he became that thing. And now here you turn up at our doorstep. Coincidence, Major?
Look! I knew Dredd. When he turned, he killed Stuart Power, my friend, and the father of the man you've got in the other room.
Therefore, given the martial law under which we operate, there can be only one penalty. Execution.
This is called world building. There's a relationship between Dredd, Hawk, and Power. And from what Hawk said, it's pretty straightforward. Dredd and Power's father knew each other. Power's father died, but Hawk knew the situation of all this, and apparently is part of the group. So, this tells you there is some history between the characters. This could also explain, like from episode 1, why Dredd does not want Powers dead.
Sir, begging the General's pardon, I have to talk to you about the prisoners. Sir, I could understand more or less what happened to Price.
Price was a traitor.
We don't know that, not for sure. And now with these two, sir, I'm asking you to reconsider.
Are you questioning my authority?
No, sir. But I wish to go on record as protesting the execution.
I want them terminated by 1600 hours. Dismissed.
It is good, my lord.
Yes, sort of. Now, proceed to the next target. Investigate the source of the transmissions. A detachment of troopers will rendezvous with you there.
On my way, my lord.
Actually explains a couple things on why he doesn't want Powers dead, but again, it explains why he does not want Powers dead. Why Captain Power? Yeah, he doesn't want Power dead. It sounds weird just to say Power. I don't want Power dead. Now, I also want to point out this next part. This is actually pretty important to tell you a relationship between Hawk and Power.
If you've harmed him, there's no place on the planet you can hide from me.
He's strong. Never met anyone like him. He'll survive. Not that it'll make much difference.
Jonathan, I'm okay. I feel like a tin can that somebody's been beating on for a year or two, but I'm okay.
We got trouble.
The execution order, yeah. We gotta get out of here. How's the corridor?
Crawling with soldiers.
Difficult, but not impossible.
Not if our power suits were charged up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. What do you make of that?
A heavy-duty industrial power cable, probably connected to a generator. Maybe a mainline transformer. You're not suggesting. I don't know. Wait a minute.
We don't have any other choice.
That thing could be carrying 40, 50,000 volts. You could be fried on the spot.
Unless the power suit's modulation system kicks in with the charge. That should ground me enough and I can take the full load. Jonathan, I'm open to other suggestions.
You kind of could tell he has a more fatherly concern for the captain, right? This would also explain the rank being the way it is. It's like, yeah, I may be a major, but he's supposed to be the leader, so there we go. Very understandable, right? You can kind of see where they're coming from with that. The point being, after he gets Power free, things go badly.
Think that's for us?
What do you think?
He's still alive.
It's not for us.
SARS there, and he's going to tear the base up. So what does the captain do? He needs to recharge his suit. And to recharge his suit, he's going to pull out the cable from the wall and...
What?
Oh no. Oh no.
Are you sure you want to go through with this?
No choice. If those alarms weren't for us, then the base must be under attack, which means bigger trouble.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
Wish me luck. Good luck.
That can't go anywhere but...
Doc, you okay? Jonathan!
Series over. Bye. He electrocuted himself. Way to go, Captain.
Power on.
Energy system full.
Your turn.
What can I say? Technobabble. Apparently, Captain Power has more knowledge about how the suits work, and in short, he understood the risk, but he also took that chance. And apparently it maxed out the suit immediately. Now this brings up a question about that recharge station. How long does it take to get to 100% from there? I mean, granted, it turns the suit on immediately, but how long does it hold up a full charge? If this dude could shock the stuffing out of himself, and he's at 100%, why? How? There's rules to the universe, and most of those I don't quite get. Let's move on.
We're clearing out. Can you hold them off while we get the men out?
Guess we'll have to find out, won't we?
General, we've got as many of the men out as we can. Have to get out now. Come on.
You go. This is my command. I'm not leaving. No one's going to take it from me.
Sir, there's no time.
Then get out. Go on, get the men to safety. This is my last order, Colonel. I'm depending on you to carry it out. It's a long, long way to Tipperary, but my heart lies there.
You are a pathetic fool.
All right. You'll notice something. I want to play this last scene for you. I want to play this whole last scene. I want you to follow along with it. His suit can detect threats in the area, okay? His suit detects those. But apparently there is something known as the Deflector Shield within the suit. And it said Deflector Shields are at 80%. Now, this is just my presumption of what's going on here, okay? I'm assuming what's going on in this situation.
Infrared sensors indicate activity in all sectors of this quadrant. Deflection shields at 80%. Proceed with caution. Captain, sensors indicate no exit. You are surrounded.
Tell me about it.
The suits not always have their deflectors on. It just deflects enough from the body. So when you get shot, you take, say, 20 points of damage. Out of 100, you're taking 20. All right? We're just going on assumption. Bear with me. Your suit is taking 20 points per shot without anything on. Okay? The power suit being active, that's it. You're taking 20% per shot. So 5 shots, you're down. The deflector shields, one of the few, if only, times they even remotely come up. So something tells me that with the power suit itself, if we're taking at 100%, if he takes 5 direct shots, it'll drop to 0. He'll have no suit left, his power will be drained, open to be captured. Deflector shields are at 80%, which means the energy that's being used for the deflector shields will negate some of the points of damage that comes to the suit, which negates some points coming to him. Or in short, if you're playing an MMO, someone throws a shield on you, it's taking less damage. You're taking less damage because the shield's active. You get what I'm saying? Kind of like how Star Trek, they have their own shields and whatever. If the shields are active, the ship doesn't immediately die. But if the shields are down and the ship takes a shot, there's hull integrity damage, right? You follow? Same thing for Captain Power. Suit's active, he can take 5 shots. Deflector shields, when they're active, negate that 5-shot rule. You get it, yes? It's softening the blow. That's all the deflector shields do. It softens the blow so the suit doesn't take as much damage. So in terms of math, let's play it this way. In terms of math, you have 100%. 80% for the deflector shields if you choose to turn it on. So let's say you sacrifice 10% to activate the deflector shields. Alright? So you're now at 90% with deflector shields. So every 4 shots that you take, every 4 shots counts as 1 shot to the body itself. So the armor itself will only take 1 bullet after 4 shots. Alright? That will explain this scene. Now, you saw how many shots that guy took. And then he gets up a little bit more annoyed, if anything.
Hey, dreadheads, you want to party? Let's party.
And people go, oh, that's just him being a badass moment. Oh, that's him being a... No. Deflector shields. He could sit there until the deflector shields run out. That was the point. Now that he's proven that the deflector shields work, it will never be brought up again.
Looking for me, boys?
A literary tactic.
Why does he wear such a ridiculous thing? Well, because it's a huge piece of armor that can easily deflect decapitation attempts. Which actually, I have to admit, when you're an immortal who can only die when his head is cut off, is pretty damn ingenious. I mean, you do it. I'd wear a kicky Doctor Who scarf made of Kevlar, but point is, the whole neck armor thing is pretty clever. So, naturally, after he kills Zai by unfairly using the armor to his advantage, he removes it and never puts it on again for the rest of the movie because, you know, now that we've firmly established the armor for the audience, there's no reason to keep it around. Now, of course, at this point in the movie, your common, uneducated moviegoer is bound to ask himself several questions like, why? What the fuck was the point of that? Was the screenwriter a fucking 4-year-old? What goose shit was that waste of time about? Well, it's actually a well-known foreshadowing technique in literature known as Chekhovs Gun. I believe it goes something like, if you say in the first chapter there's a rifle hanging on the wall, you should use it immediately to kill a pointless peripheral side character the audience barely knows or cares about, and then throw it out the window, never to mention it again in the 2nd or 3rd chapters.
Here, the Chekhov's gun is the deflector shields. The deflector shields work great. You're surrounded, you put up the deflector shields, you take the shots while the rest of your group gets around and deals with the problem. You pretty much go from DPS to tank. Now that we understand that you go from DPS to tank with deflector shields on, that does explain the scene a little bit, right? I know I've spent a lot of time just trying to get this down and out there, but I wanted it understood on that's why he survived. It's the Chekhov's gun, the deflector shields of the power suit. Alright? And of course they leave, and one last thing I want to point out is how quickly Dredd's army applied knowledge. Why did they apply that knowledge, you ask? Well, this happened.
You are a pathetic fool.
I'll show you this. Because when someone gets digitized, as Athena said in the last episode, everything about them uploaded to the computer matrix, pretty much. So every machine knows everything you knew. I wanted to have that scene shown because everything the machines know comes from the matrix. Not that matrix. The digitization matrix. Where they digitize a person, they go in there, ah! You know, the thing Athena complained about, right? Yeah, the thing that Athena complained about? Well, showing you that the general got taken.
You are a pathetic fool.
And why the troops suddenly changed their tactics to surround Captain Power. You see how fast the knowledge gets spread. That's all I'm trying to point out. This is something of importance later. And it's something to think about now. If Dredd can digitize power, he will have access to passcodes, how suits work, where the power base is, where the resistance are, where any of the humans that have been evacuated went. He wins. If Dredd can get power digitized, he wins. He gets all the information. Think about the incident between Picard and the Borg. When Riker realized what happened, he immediately started changing passwords. Immediately! Because Picard has certain passwords. And if the Borg were able to use those passwords to just hijack the Enterprise, game, set, match, the Federation loses. So Dredd is trying to get power on this level in terms of tactics. I'll leave you all to contemplate this for future episodes. I'm Double R. I'm out. Have a good time. I say power off, but I don't have an emblem, so later.